Hello NLSAT aspirants. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you are planning to prepare for NLSAT 2026. We have roughly 9 months left for the exam. In this session, I'm going to give you a step-by-step understanding on how to prepare. There are certain do's and don'ts of this particular exam that we have to follow, and we have to understand as to how to manage this preparation. If let's say you are in college, or you could say you have your last or final semester in college, which I believe sometimes in certain colleges is quite hectic again. So how to manage this preparation, how many hours to study, all of that is going to be very crucial, right? So first very important thing I think we understand, this is your exam, right? This is your exam in two parts. A lot of people make this major mistake for this particular exam is they don't, you could say, focus a lot on part B. Part A is relatively कह सकते हो कि easier to prepare in the sense that we have to solve questions, we have to study basic theories, we don't have to do a lot of effort in it. But when it comes to part B, there is a lot of effort required, there is a lot of, you could say, skill required every time you want to study this particular part, right? And that becomes a problem for a lot of us. Now please understand this, we all know that if we clear part A, if we are through with part A, only then do we reach to part B, otherwise we don't reach to part B at all. We will not qualify for part B if this part A is not clear. Now that is why सिर्फ part A करते रहते हैं and part B we neglect. Please don't do that. This is another 75 marks. These are proper essays that we have to write, and when we write essays, we sometimes are not able to understand as to what to write and what to leave. It becomes difficult because if I give you a very simple topic, let's say write about artificial intelligence and legal profession, what is going to be the correlation, what do you see 10 years from now? We can write a lot of things. You will have some ideas that you can obviously express, but in what format, in what structure, that is not clear, right? So that is why this becomes very important, the entire drill, to prepare for part B as well. So we'll have to assume that we are going to qualify for part B, and that is how we're going to be studying for it, right? One very useful source that you can always incorporate for this is newspapers. Okay, newspapers are going to be of paramount importance because when you read newspaper articles on a regular basis, you tend to understand as to how this writing part is done. How an intro comes at the start, what comes in the body, how do you conclude a particular essay. That entire structure becomes clearer to you. And I will also tell you as to what sort of practice can you do with respect to this, right? So these are the sections that we are going to be preparing in detail. Now understand this, as I told you, A and B part has to be prepared simultaneously. And they have to be prepared together, not like we'll do part A for the first 5 months, then we'll start part B. No. Start part B whenever you start part A, within like 5-7 days of each other. Okay. After you are done with about, you could say, 1 or 2 months of preparation, start attempting at least 2 mock tests every month. You can do 3 also, 4 also, not a problem. At least 2 mock tests every month has to be done. 2 in part A, 2 in part B, so that you understand as to where you stand at that point. है ना? आप कहाँ पर अभी खड़े हो? Okay. So essay हर 7 से 10 दिन में we are going to be writing an essay as well. उसके topics we will also give you, है ना? आप generally भी कोई भी topic उठा सकते हो जो भी आपको चल रहा है, लग रहा है कि it's going on in news, but we can also give you these topics, right? So when you write these essays, you understand what are the problems, what are the issues that you're facing, and we'll be very happy to guide you there as well. Okay? For the general knowledge prep also, you need to be very regular. Because see, general knowledge is something, including current affairs, that something is happening every single day. So how do we plan this entire thing is, we do one subject in a day, let's take English, and we do a bit of GK every day. So if you can spare about 2 to 3 hours every single day, you will be able to cover the entire portion, including practice, by the end of your preparation. The problem comes when we are not consistent. We have not studied anything for 2 days. On the third day, we believe that we'll study 5 to 6 hours. That becomes problem because you can study 5-6 hours, but you can't retain so much after a point, right? So we're not revising and everything. That becomes a problem. So let me tell you a step-by-step guide on how to go about it. First, start with the previous year questions. You will get an understanding as to what is the difficulty level of the paper and how much do you know at this point, right? How much are you aware? The second would be understanding the basic concepts, right? The basic concepts are going to be the starting point in the preparation. Why do I divide concepts into basic and advanced? Is because when we do the basic concepts, we get some sort of understanding, okay, this is how this exam works. And then we move on to certain more difficult and certain bigger concepts as well, right? So that is something that we would do after that, right? So step 3 would be advanced concepts along with mocks or practice, and then we'll do revision also. So every 15-20 days, you need to revise whatever you've done. Let's say 2 weeks you're studying, the next day, 15th day has to be the revision day where you revise everything you've done for the last, you could say, 14 days. Because what happens, let's say we're studying for 5-6 months and we do not revise anything. Now that is a point where if we do not revise anything, we won't retain too much, right? And if we don't retain too much, there will be questions in the exam you feel I studied about it, but I'm not getting it right now. And that's the worst feeling to have in an exam, right? So understand this with complete, you could say, maturity. See, we all are students of third year, maybe in graduation, or you've already graduated. Please try to understand this, that whenever you take any sort of decision of writing an exam as big as this, as you could say prestigious as this, please take or make an informed choice. ठीक है? अभी ऐसे for example मैंने देखा है कि there are people who are providing you some sort of guidance for NLSAT, है ना? What would they do is they are themselves, let's say XYZ students of somewhere, है ना? So most coachings also have not yet cracked as to how to teach NLSAT. I'll tell you why. Because see, these are the topics: English, current affairs, critical reasoning, legal, analytical. These come in CLAT also. So most of the coaching that are teaching you for NLSAT are majorly CLAT coaching, and they are applying that CLAT के concepts to this. That is not how it works. ठीक है? इस तरह से नहीं चलता है ये. We need to understand it properly. We need to create a proper curriculum, and that only, because CLAT student is a 12th standard student. You guys are 3-4 years ahead of them. The exam cannot expect the same level of maturity from both, right? You guys have to be more mature. The kind of questions that are given to you have to be better. The kind of responses has to be better, right? So that's something you need to understand as well with respect to this. So if you like our teaching style, if you understand what I am trying to tell you, we have started a new batch for you called PRAHAR. This is for NLSAT 2026. They will be guiding you till the last day of your preparation with all the concepts, all the strategies, and all the mock tests, right? This will make your life simpler. You will be able to understand as to how to go about it, what are certain things that are relevant from the examination point of view that are to be taken forward, and what are certain things to be left. है ना, फालतू चीजें करने की जरूरत नहीं है. We don't have the time to waste here. You just want to do the relevant things and do them well, revise them well, practice them well. That's how we are going to go about it, right? So there are multiple, you could say, features in the batch. I've given the link for the same in the description of this video. You can always have a look at that. You can always contact us on these numbers if you want any sort of understanding about the batch. And even after taking the batch, you can always call us. Take a 12minutes2clat.com. You can visit. We'll be very happy to guide you till the end of your preparation. It's India's most affordable, most efficient course curriculum created solely for NLSAT, right? That's it about this session. Thank you so much again for being a part of this. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye, guys.